What's going on? It's Clement back again with another video. I recently ran into this guy's channel. The name of his channel is Complicated Channel. Shout out to him. This man makes great content and he takes a good amount of time to work on his questions, and it's very good build up, and I really like his questioning ability. Just his speech ability in general is very top tier. So whenever you guys have a chance, definitely check out his channel. But today I just want to review one of his videos. So let's get into it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself?
Oh, 7 on a good day.
Shout out to Kevin Samuels. This is why he never uses 7. Every woman would pick 7.
It depends. It's a sliding scale.
Okay, well, you said 7 on a good day, right? What do you think it would take to make you a 10?
What would it take to make me a 10?
Oh.
I guess it depends on the other person's perspective, but to make myself a 10?
Why do you think there are men who travel to other countries to meet and marry women?
Cause pussy is a motherfucker.
Okay, what is... Why don't women typically travel to find men?
Men are dogs, legit. Like, men would, if given the opportunity, they would hump everything within the vicinity. The thing is, as you get older, you're supposed to be a little bit more mature and choosing better. But while you're young, you want to really just sleep with anything in your view.
Cause dick is more accessible than pussy.
Ooh, okay. What's the best compliment you've ever been given?
That I had good music taste.
Good music taste.
Yeah.
All right, I want to ask you this. Have you ever noticed a correlation between the type of music a person listens to and the content of their character?
100%.
Or not the content, the quality of their character,
I
guess.
would say yes, there's a strong correlation.
Okay, interesting. All right. Who do you think is more romantic, men or women?
Women.
Women for sure. They're into it.
What? Guy? No, definitely not. Men by far are the romantic ones. Men have to court and have to come up with a romantic gesture to actually get the female interested in him. I mean, that's why even in the wild, like peacocks, like the females are typically just one solid, I think they're just brown. Whereas the male peacocks are the ones that's really brightly colored, and yeah, men are definitely far more the romantics.
We'll be happy. Well, I'll be happy with just some pussy. All that other shit is just other shit. They want the other shit. Hey, do the flowers and the music and the. I just want to bang it out, get my nut.
Okay.
You know.
What does it mean to be? What does it mean to be romantic?
I guess to be thoughtful.
Okay. So does that mean that women give romance or they receive romance? Like, what do you mean by women are more romantic or?
Well, dang, I would say neither then. I would say neither because they want it, right?
Yeah.
But they can't necessarily most women can't necessarily, don't. Now, I'm not saying they can't. They don't set the mood, like, in that way.
Why do you think most romantic songs are written about women?
Because women are so beautiful.
Men are.
You don't want to hear my answer? Because pussy is a motherfucker. Again.
Okay, what's the most romantic thing a man can do for a woman?
Listen,
What's the most romantic thing a woman can do for a man?
understand.
What does it mean to be romantic?
More or less compatibility.
Okay. And
solid
why, do
no
you,
one-word answers.
why do you think that most romantic songs are written about women?
Unfortunately, I don't think there's as many female artists that focus on that particular topic.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's, again, a stereotypical kind of thing.
Okay.
I think our culture just kind of like dictates that. Man's always losing women, so man's always trying to sing about woman that he said misses or loves. It seems to be like the typical love song.
What does it mean to be romantic?
I think it means understanding the other person's wants and needs and providing.
Okay. Why are most romantic songs written about women?
Are they? I feel like I've heard a lot of.
Do you agree? Do you agree with that, or is that you don't think that's?
I
right?
would feel like most romantic songs have been written by women, not for women, but by women.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, have you ever heard Jewel?
Well, that's the thing. Maybe I'm wrong, but I was saying like a lot of Taylor Swift songs are about like, you know, like you don't deserve me, stuff like. You know, I've heard a lot.
Okay,
I've heard a lot of breakup songs.
But I
like
also
that.
feel like that has to do with our current times. I feel like a lot of, if you compare songs from the 90s to songs now, the whole, everything about them is totally different. Like, it's been all about women empowerment, you know, these last 20 years, whereas the 90s, you know, it was like about don't take my man, watch out, I'm gonna beat you if you take my man. And now it's like, girl, I just found out your man's cheating, let's get together and ruin his life, you know?
If a man and woman, it's a little controversial, but if a man and woman are both attacked in public, who do you think is more likely to be rescued?
Oh, the woman for sure, unfortunately.
Okay, so why do you think women feel so unsafe if they're far more likely to be rescued?
Because
This is why I love this guy's questions. Every time this man has really worked on every single one of these questions and really gets these people to actually understand what they're actually saying a little bit more. A lot of these answers are like a quick response. It's like, oh, this is the very PC answer. This is the best way to say it. It's a very PC answer until he asks the second question that'll really make them think like, oh, wait a minute. I can't actually say that. Wait, that actually doesn't make sense. This man is good. It's Complicated Channel. Check it out if you haven't. Subscribe to him. Like his videos. He doesn't really drop many videos because obviously he's going around and asking people a bunch of questions. But when he does, it's a gem.
usually the guy they're with is a pussy.
Okay.
The woman.
The woman, right? Okay, so why do women feel unsafe if they're far more likely to be rescued by a white knight?
I don't know. I can't think like them.
Okay. How often do you see women defending random men?
Not often.
Right, but you see the opposite, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you think that men are the biggest threat to women, or are they the biggest protectors of women?
There's some cycles out here, so they could be both. They could be protected.
Right, but I'm saying, do you think
Threat.
there's one more one than the other? Okay.
Not really that
Do you think it's a man's responsibility to protect women?
Yes, sir.
Do you think it's even if it's just a random woman?
Now it depends.
Okay.
You can't get yourself everybody's situation, so that depends.
Right. I mean, if it's your woman, that's one thing. But
Oh yeah, if it's mine, oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but if it's just a random woman, do you think that men are responsible for protecting women?
Not in some cases.
How often do you see women defending random men?
Too much.
You think that happens a lot?
100%.
Women defend men more than men defend women?
What?
Yeah,
Really?
100%.
This man.
Yeah, guys have a sense to cur out, and I feel like women are the ones that jump out especially when they have any type of alcoholic beverage in their system to tell you like, my man this, my man that. Like, all right, you better tell your man to tell me that before you get in the middle of some shit and start some shit you don't want to be in the
he's
middle
around
of.
Do you think men are the biggest threat to women, or are men the biggest protectors of women?
Ooh. That's a 50-50 answer as well. I guess you just got to find the right person to be with, because you know, like, you're at the wrong person, you're obviously going to be toxic to that person. I'm gonna stick firm on that one.
What do you think is the difference between sexually empowering women and sexually objectifying women?
Ooh. I think empowerment comes from self, and I think objectification comes from others.
Okay. Do you think the sexual empowerment of women in any way contributes to their own objectification?
Yes.
So why is sexual empowerment of women a good thing if it leads to
Because I think
objectification?
it's how you perceive yourself. If you are okay with putting yourself out there that way and you feel comfortable with the reactions that you're going to receive, then that is where your empowerment comes from.
Okay, but isn't it entirely subjective?
It is entirely subjective.
So how can you kind of like get mad at someone for objectifying you when it really it could be the exact same thing?
But what
it's
I'm
just-
saying
it's
is,
open to
if you're
interpretation,
mad
right?
at someone objectifying you, then you shouldn't put yourself out there that way. But if you're putting yourself out there that way, you are empowering yourself to receive any reaction that's out there and not give a fuck.
So if you're putting yourself out there, do you have a right to complain if people...
I don't think so.
Okay. Do you think the sexual empowerment of women in any way contributes to their own objectification?
Yes.
So then why is it a good thing if it, produces a bad result?
Because it's the way they do it, the way they present themselves. And then some of them try to flip the script and be like, what?
Do you think women have the right to complain about being objectified if they're putting themselves out there?
That's a tricky question too, cause you know that's her body, so she can do whatever she want with her body. But at the same time, don't get mad when you getting those kind of answers.
That's the number one. That's the $1 million question right there.
Right. Well, I mean, don't they look exactly the same?
Pretty much.
So isn't it entirely subjective?
It absolutely is.
Okay, so
And it's actually a matter of what society wants to label it, because it has nothing to do with an individual.
do you think the sexual empowerment of women in any way contributes to their own objectification?
Absolutely.
So why is it a good thing?
Who says it is? I mean, it could be
A lot of people, a lot of women who basically think that Cardi
a lot
B
of people,
making a WAP video.
a lot of people like like Justin Bieber, but I mean I can't stand him. So I mean, but there's a lot of things out there that people like.
I mean, he was going good. He was going really. I was liking where he was going, and then he just fell off the rails. Because all he had to really just say was women really over objectifying themselves, or really just putting themselves out there too much. It's just not appealing to most men. It really isn't. Like I mean, yeah, most girls will say, "Oh, you know," but everyone wants the Instagram model. Everyone wants the Instagram. Listen, realistically, yes, guys are made so that we want to spread our seed, like Genghis Khan, spread our seed far and wide. But that is just for an Instagram model will be a one night thing. So if you're constantly dressing and moving around like an Instagram model every single day, you're only going to get guys that want to be around you for one night. And that's the reality of it. Most guys just want someone nice, friendly, fit, understanding, not really give you a headache. I mean, that's just really it. Not that you wear, I don't even know what's a bikini everywhere, I guess, right?
But it's all what society wants to label things, and I'm so against that. It's just ridiculous.
Sure. Do you think it's okay to label people?
Absolutely not.
So why do you think that there are some people who get really offended if you don't refer to them with the right pronouns? Isn't that labeling people?
Because a person is smart and people are stupid. That's why.
So would you say it's kind of a subjective thing, like it's just pretty much open to interpretation?
I think it is. I really do think it is, because a lot of women think that they're empowering themselves by objectifying themselves, not really knowing the difference between the two. Because, you know, in the past, you know, if you think about it, if you look at our music, it's very explicit, right? Women, sex sells. Women who objectify themselves, in the term of objectifying themselves, they get money and power, but they're sexually objectifying themselves because sex sells.
So related to that, right? Why do you think that there are so many women who love hip-hop music when so much of it is degrading to women?
I think because that's what sells, that's what seems to be cool, that's what the trend is, and that's the only way that they felt that they've been able to empower themselves.
But don't you think that kind of sends a mixed message?
Absolutely. I think it's very contradictory, and I think that's where the line is blurred. And I think that for so long, when you think about the hip-hop culture, you get into the African American and black and brown people. And for so long, if you go back in history, African American and black women have been sexually objectified back when you go back to slave plantations to now. So even now, it's evolved over time with them not realizing the history behind being sexually objectified.
So do you think that there's any, like, you know, change or evolution that needs to happen, or?
Absolutely, change and evolution needs to happen. I mean, you have women all over the world that wish they had the power that women in the U.S. and Western countries have. And women in the Western countries, I think that they misuse it. I mean, if you go back to the feminist movement and think about voters' rights, all of those things, we actually have set ourselves back thinking that we've moved forward.
Interesting. Can you elaborate a little more on that?
Yeah, when I say that because
I really like this lady's thinking. She's actually one of the people that says this she's one of the women and that says this third wave movement of women is not that good. I mean, really, it's women are the most free they've ever been in history, with the most amount of choices, and they are the least happy in this period of time, and it's kind of sad. But I think that's just the men aren't really in a better boat because men were raised with a 50-50 mentality, which I believe is the wrong way to raise a man. A wrong way to raise a boy to become a man. And that's why, I mean, it's a huge dumpster fire, this generation that we're in. But let's hear this smart lady.
If you think about it, women feel like they have to be sexual, they have to be beautiful, they have to show breasts, they have to show skin in order for men to notice them. When so many women back in history fought to be noticed and be powerful figures politically, in the home, to be equal in the home, and just have, and even in politics, to be equal, and say with that, that's why I said we're setting us back from what we've gone to, because we should not have to be sexually objectified to be seen and heard.
Why are some women on their period capable of acting cool and calm at work, yet behave irritable at home around her loved ones?
Because their loved ones suck.
That's a fucked up question.
What?
It's a fucked up question.
That guy just hates on men so bad. Moron.
I think that I think to understand that you have to understand hormones, and to understand hormones, they're not rational. Hormones are very irrational. Like one minute I'm pissed, and the next minute I ate a burrito and I feel much better.
Do you think it's harder for a man to control his desires or for a woman to control her emotions?
Desires, for sure.
So is it more acceptable for women to be emotionally irresponsible than it is acceptable for men to sleep around?
Ooh, that's a good one. But I'm going to go with no on that. It's 50. I mean, like, it's kind of, I was going to say, it's kind of like like falls right in the middle. I mean, fuck.
This man has some great questions, man. Emotions or desire? I don't know. I think it's definitely easier for women to control their emotions versus guys with their desires, because I mean, the amount of testosterone usually flowing through any guy's body is like, it is insane. It is ridiculous some days, especially like as a teenager growing up. We're like, here's the funny thing that I think most people don't, or most women will probably not understand. It's like, for guys, you go through a period in time where you're playing in the mud, you're playing with your friends, you're not really thinking about women, and then out of nowhere one day you just go through puberty, boners are just happening randomly, and you just want to really just hump anything with a hole, and you have no idea why. There's just this thing that's constantly standing up in your pants every morning when you wake up, and it's just like, what's happening? You have no idea what's happening. And as you get older, you learn to stop the random boners, and that urge, you just learn to wear a better mask. Really, that doesn't go away. So, man, that's a good one. Yeah, I think women have it easier on that one. Any women watch this, definitely comment down below. I'm curious on your thought on that.
That's a really hard question to answer.
I think it's harder for a man to control his desires. I mean, look at where we're at. This place was built by men.
Is it more acceptable for women to be emotionally irresponsible than it is for men to sleep around?
I think everyone should take responsibility for their actions. I think that, yeah.
Fair enough. Why are there men who travel to other countries to meet and marry women?
Yes, I've seen that. I was actually just in Thailand and I saw a lot of that. I think because there is a power differential when, especially if these are white men coming from Western countries to, maybe, like Asia or somewhere like that. I feel like they maybe feel a sense of like, I have something that I could give you that I wouldn't necessarily be able to. I feel like there's a different standard. I'm trying to word this. I feel like it's a power thing. I feel like a lot of men go over to these other countries to marry these women because of status.
Okay. Do you think it's okay to judge a man based on his wealth and status?
Yes.
Why do you think men don't typically judge women based on their wealth and status, but women often judge men based on wealth and status?
Because men judge women based on their looks, and we judge men based on what they can provide.
Smart.
Why do you think women will often give men advice like, just be yourself, or it's what's on the inside that counts, instead of advising men to increase their wealth and status if that's what so many of them are attracted to?
Because I think it depends on the woman. I think not all women are looking for wealth and status.
Shut up. This cap. That is. That was so cap. Man, this chick. She literally said the right thing in the beginning. And really, that's what you should be telling most guys. Most guys should be hearing that. Like, get out there, work your butt off, make as much money as you can, and try to make your money work for you. That's the best thing you can do to really better yourself and get the best kind of partner for yourself. Money is power. Get money, get power.
Some women are looking for a genuinely nice man.
Do you think it's okay? For a woman to judge a man based on his wealth and status?
No, but they do. All of them do. I don't care, cause love can't make your home warm. Love ain't gonna pay the bills. Love ain't gonna do none of that shit, cause that love gonna run out eventually. So they looking for stability.
Okay. Why do you think that men don't typically judge women based on their wealth and status, but women will often judge men based on wealth and status?
Cause most dudes want to be heroes. Captain Save 'em.
Captain Save-A-Ho.
Okay. Yeah. Captain Save-A-Ho.
And lastly, why do you think women often give men the advice, just be yourself, or it's what's on the inside that counts, instead of advising men to increase their wealth and status if that's what so many of them are attracted to?
Cause they watch movies and get brainwashed.
Ah, okay.
It's not real.
Yeah.
They be like, why don't you do the things that? Cause it's a movie, and this is real life.
Why is it considered toxic when friends?
Okay. I don't want to give up too much. Well, I mean, I have like 5 minutes left. But I'm definitely going to leave the link for the video in the description. Again, check out this man's channel. It's Complicated Channel. Always asking some great questions. He definitely does very well with his word choices, his questioning choices, questioning ability. This man is great. Definitely check him out. Thanks again for coming to my channel. And stick around. Check out some other videos. Peace.